All right, welcome back to another weekly Forexcast. All right, so I'm going to be covering just a few setups that I see I'm going to be watching for this week for potential setups. All right, starting with the dollar index, we see the dollar has been in this bearish trend from this top. It continued the bearish move. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, pretty much 8 weeks of a downtrend. All right, 6 to 8 weeks. Now we've touched this bottom. We touched this level of support where price could potentially give us a correction up. All right. Looking at this on the daily, we found this daily support level and price is now finding support. So we could look for price to potentially correct up. Long term, of course, I'm still bearish on this, but we could, if we see this continue to break up from here, then you're going to see some of these dollar pairs correct with it. All right. So if we look at this, price formed a double bottom right here at this level. At this level of support, we got a double bottom and I was holding that support. So if this continues to break up, all right, then we could see this have a deeper correction up before you get more sells. You know, maybe something like this, maybe form a lower high at this structure, maybe to retest of that trend line and then continue down. But with this holding and pumping up, we can see dollar pairs trade in line. So looking at GBP USD. All right, looking at this on a weekly chart, we can see prices in a major supply level. All right, looking to the left, this is a major level of supply. All right, huge level of sellers. So if we look at this price, we've been in the uptrend on a weekly, on a daily. All right, but now we're at a level where prices look like it's setting up for some type of bearish correction. All right, looking at this top, last time price was here, we had a sell off there. All right, looking at this weekly candle, somewhat of a pin rejection on the weekly. So going down, doing the top down analysis, looking at the daily candle closed like with a bearish type shooting star type projection. All right. So this could be the top forming a double top to roll over back down towards structure. So this is how I would trade this. It's still early. All right. You see here on a 4-hour chart, price came to this top, gave you this rejection. All right, this is like an evening star rejection right here, showing signs of sellers coming. So this is what I would look for. I could take a trend line here, still uptrend structure right here. So price will need to really break structure to really show that we're going lower, because price could either hold here, reverse up, create a lower high, or still hold below that top and then roll over. All right, I would look for something like that. Or if price continues to break down, breaking this higher low structure, then I would look for some type of pullback, maybe a retest before looking for that continued wave down, right? So overall this week, I'm looking for sales back down towards 1.40 structure, all right? Looking at GJ. GJ has clearly been in an uptrend too, looking at this on a daily chart, been in an uptrend. We broke above here, retested this structure. Now we're ranging right here. All right, but looking at the weekly chart, I was looking for price to come up towards this level around 155 and then possibly reject, because if we look where we're at, we're around a major monthly descending trend line, right? From this lower high to this peak high to the left. So we're around that structure. On the weekly price, this weekly candle closed like a doji pin bar showing indecision. So for me, price looking like it's screaming that it's setting up or it's looking for some type of bearish correction. All right. But we got to be patient now, because looking at this on the daily, it came up here slightly about 30 pips shy of the major psychological level 155. It also would have lined up with this rejection of this trend line. So price could fall short and continue to roll over from here. So this is how I would look at this. Looking at this structure, we see price came up here, formed the top, reversed down. Now it's pulled back right here and continued to reject. All right, so it basically came up and retested like this supply level structure. All right, which could be a higher low, a lower high, a minor lower high within this structure. So a way that I would look for, either maybe price pull back and still reject and look to catch that, or give us one more wave up towards this high and then reject, or if price just holds below that high and continues to break down, I would need to see price break this structure. If price breaks this support structure to the left, then from there, we can look to catch a pullback or a lower high forming before continue to catch that wave to the downside. All right, so overall, I'm leaning towards some type of reversal setting up, you know what I mean? But this could be a head and shoulders right to here too, a minor head and shoulders with that being the head, this being the left shoulder, right shoulder. So price continues to break down, we can catch the pullback, retest, and then look to take this down. All right, this can come all the way back down towards 1.52.5, possibly lower. All right, because the price break back below this structure on these pullbacks, you could see this come much lower. That's GJ looking for potential sales. GBP NZD price kept pumping. All right, kept pumping. Now we're back at this potential. We're not a potential, but we back at this supply level. All right, because looking at the weekly, price formed this bullish engulfing on the weekly, then it just kept pumping up. So now we back at this level. So this is a breaker bounce scenario up here. All right, we're at this level. Price has sellers. Came up here again, strong sellers. So now this is another retest at this level. All right, so you want to see how price action is going to react here. It came up here initially and started having some type of rejection. All right. So I would look at it something like this. I would look for a breakdown of structure. You could take your trend line. All right. So if this holds at the rejection that is high and starts to roll over, then you can look to catch those pullbacks, retests, or those lower high type bearish flag setups for a continuation down. All right. So that's something I would look for on GN is look for rejection, price to break structure. If it breaks structure, catch the pullback, look to continue it down. Euro JPY. Euro JPY is also in a nice, very strong supply level. If you look at the weekly chart, this is the highest price has been since late 2018. All right. So almost 3 years, really. Last time price was here, we had a huge sell-off all the way back down towards 115. So that was a major level. This is a big range of supply. Price dropped over 1,800 pips, all right, from that high. So we back up here now on a weekly. We got a doji type pin bar rejection showing indecision, showing signs of potential reversal at this level of supply. If we look at the daily chart, price is giving a strong, nice bearish rejection from this level, a nice bearish close back below the supply level. All right. And if we go down to the 4-hour chart, you can see price broke down right here, pulled back, forming a lower high and continued to break down. So what I see right here is I see a breaker structure right here. Price gave us a breaker structure right here, right? It broke structure, actually making this breaking of structure right here. All right. So seeing that, I will look for some type of either continue breakdown and then catch the pullback, or I will see if we can get that pullback first. That pullback first, you know, something like this, pullback, and then continue forming that lower high. All right. So this is how I would look at this. You can also take your trend line. All right. Also, if I look at this, my moving averages, my red is also crossing over the blue. All right. My red is crossing over the blue right here. This is the 4-hour. So that's more indication that sellers could be coming in. All right. So on this move, I either want to see a pullback, see price form a lower high, catch that pullback for continuation down, or price continues to just break down this trend line. All right, then I will find my potential structure levels for either lower high or retest on the pullbacks for continuation down. Because with this being a major supply level, this can be a big drop, you know, back down towards 131.3, 1.31.2 area, potentially lower. So I also have my outer trend line. So if this continues to sell off, you know, price can either hold here because we're still in the uptrend and bounce. But if it continues to break down that strong trend line, then we just continue to sell these pullbacks. All right. So Euro JPY, sell bias, looking for the pullbacks or looking for continued breakdown on the sell. Euro USD, looking at Euro USD here on the weekly chart, price continue to pump up, all right? But now we're back at a level where price could potentially reverse or roll over. All right, looking at this weekly chart, we retested this same top where price had this big sell-off. So now the weekly, this candle, that's a shooting star type candle. All right, nice wick rejection, shooting star indication with price, signs of price potentially reversing or rolling over. Looking at the daily chart, all right, we're at this level of resistance. So we want to see if price want to continue to break down structure. So this is how we look at this. We got this double top right here. This is our double top. All right, this will be our neckline structure of that double top. So I would look for a breakdown of this neckline structure. All right, so I could take a trend line even from here through that neckline, higher low structure. Not only is it a neckline structure, but it's also a higher low within this uptrend. So if price continues to break down here, all right, I will look for a pullback or a retest, all right, lower high or a retest, and look to continue to sell that down, all right, back down to at least this structure low, all right, but price could come all the way back down to 1.20 psychological level support, all right, so that's Euro USD, looking for potential sales, especially if the dollar continue to correct up, then you can expect that. CAD JPY. So CAD JPY was ranging a lot last week. After this breakdown, it pulled back and ended the week ranging. But my bias still remains to the downside. I mean, if we look at this on the weekly, it's a major level of supply. All right. Look how that weekly candle closed. We got a nice doji pin bar. All right, showing sign of indecision, potential reversal in the supply zone. And then we had a nice rejection from that level. So I believe this is just a correction to continue. All right. Price is slow and is ranging, but my sell bias on this still remains. All right. This was like a rising wedge within this uptrend, rejected off that supply level. All right. So this was the breakdown. And I believe this is just the pullback. This is just the bearish flag corrective move to continue down. All right. So I would say still look for, on this corrective flag, still look for this breakdown to come. All right, still look for that breakdown to come. USD Cad. So looking at USD Cad, we're at this major level of demand. All right, price slightly broke below this major demand structure, which it likes to do. It likes to spike past the level before reversing. Right, a lot of liquidity down here. So looking at this on the daily, price is now, to me, setting up for that bigger correction or that bigger reversal from demand. All right, we had a nice pin bar through here, pulled up, pulled back down. We got another pin bar right here. All right, so I believe this is setting up to give us that up move. All right, we can look at here on the 4-hour chart. This is somewhat of an inverted, this slightly pulled back a little deeper, but this is somewhat of an inverted head and shoulders right here. All right, so I believe this is going to give us a nice move to the upside. All right. So you can take counter trend line here. All right, so if price continues to hold support here, continues to roll up, you could look for buys on this continued move up, because that also goes in line with oil. If we look at US oil, CAD and oil correlates. Oil to me is looking real bearish. Oil broke down. It broke strong rejection from this resistance level that we see. All right, see this nice rejection from here, from this level, sell off. Price came up here again, nice impulsive sell off. So I believe any pullback on this is just a correction to go higher. All right, we now retesting this level. It could hold here and just roll over. All right, but even if it pull up deeper, I believe this is pulling up to create a lower high. Even if we want to retest this high, I believe that we're going to see that continuation down on oil. And with that continued sell off on oil, that will help with our CAD JPY sell off and also our USD CAD buy. All right. So looking at gold, gold is at an interesting level. All right, we're at a level where price could roll over. All right, price could roll over from here. So looking at this level, we at a level, it slightly broke above this level of resistance right here, this level of structure. All right. But if the dollar decides to continue to roll up, we could see this roll down. We could see this break down. All right. So with this, I would say, if you're going to look for a sell on gold, I would say look for this to give you that initial sell off or breakdown, and then catch the pullbacks or the retest for continued move down. But if this just continues to break higher highs, continues to pump up, then you can continue to see this ride up. All right. But I'm leaning towards some type of correction on gold. CHFJPY, we can see price has been in the uptrend, a strong uptrend. Looking to the left, it's really just been in this strong move uptrend on a weekly. All right, so it's just a matter of if it's ready for to give us some type of reversal. Looking at the daily, it's slightly ranging and initially price gave us this breakdown here. So I'm still looking for this potential pullback to continue to roll over. All right, I want to see how this move here happens. But if this high right here holds, the price continues to reject from this high, it could be a double top, and it could see this still roll over. All right, so I'm leaning towards that to correct. But if this breaks above this high, not spike or wick, but breaks above it, closes above it, that could potentially be a continued move up. But then sometimes it likes to give you the false breakout, and then still roll over. All right, so we got to see how price plays around this level. NZD USD, still bearish on this up here. All right, looking at the weekly chart, we can see prices in this major supply level. Looking to the left, prices in this major level of sellers. So if we look at this on the weekly chart, we got a bearish engulfing close. That's a sign that the sellers are in control and price is likely going to continue to roll over. All right. So looking at this on the daily chart, price is breaking down to this trend line. All right, we're getting a breakdown. So this is how I would look, how I would play this. I would either say if price continues to just break down here, price continues to break down, I will say catch the pullbacks or the retest for continuation. All right, but if price holds here and then pulls up one more time, I would say look for a potential sell on the lower high or pullback retest. All right, because I believe this is definitely going to continue to sell down. It's just a matter if it want to continue from here or give you one more pullback for that opportunity. But overall, I believe this could come, this really could come all the way back down to support structure down here. And all JPY, similar to NZD JPY. But look at this on a weekly chart. We're in this major level of supply, looking to the left. All right, it's a lot of selling pressure up here. All right, major supply level in this area. All right, so if we zoom in here on the weekly, we got a nice evening star rejection on the weekly. Strong reversal indication. All right, so if we go down to the daily, you see price rejected from this high and started breaking down. All right, so I believe this is going to come all the way back down. First stop around 83 support, then it could come even lower down towards 82 support. All right, so looking at this on a 4 hour, all right, I would say price could continue to break down from here. If it continues to break down, I would say look for the pullback opportunities and write it down. Or if it want to reverse, let's say it wants to reverse one more time or pull back a little deeper. All right, if this wants to pull back a little deeper, you could get the opportunity on the lower high. All right, forming. This can be the lower high here, but I expect it to stay below this lower high. All right, so if price pulls back, that could be an opportunity on that lower high to then go. All right, or just keeps breaking down from here and maybe get a retest of that and then continue. All right, so we have some, some nice setups aligning. It's just a matter of being patient and let's take what the market can give us. All right, see you all in the next session.